Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Vivek Ramaswamy confronts Van Jones to his face at the Democratic National Convention, and the conversation they have is surprisingly shocking. But before we get to the video, a quick shout out to our sponsors at Native Path. Their products, particularly their collagen, will better your health, but more on that later. Now, let's get back into the video.
So we got death threats. We got death threats after the thing you said. So that's Van Jones for you.
So you were on air and you said that you said he's a demagogue, he's dangerous, he's going to be around for 50 years, long after Donald Trump's gone. So the first time in the campaign, we get a death threat of a man who wants to show up in New Hampshire. Thankfully, the police intervened, got it. The next day, back-to-back days. So my wife's scared enough. The next day, we wake up. It's 3 a.m. We get a call from him. He's my security guard saying, "Thank God you picked up, because we just got a call that somebody showed up at their house and has 4 dead bodies out." So that's within 48 hours. And I'm not going to attribute that to your comment because whatever it is. But for our family, you know what? Publicly I didn't do it, but for our family, yeah, it pissed us the heck off, actually. And so the reality is, I don't try to engage in rhetoric that gets other people in danger of bodily harm. But I do think that if somebody's going to, even if you didn't intend to provoke that kind of ire on my family, yeah, in that week it landed with me. Now, at the same time, am I going to...
Test.
Do I want to set a good example for people in this country of what discourse looks like? I do. And in the heat of a presidential campaign, and I've been open about it since I left the campaign as well, my competitive spirits, sometimes stop us from being able to have the level of discourse we want. And I think you were wrongfully pushed out of the White House for your comments around 9/11. Way back when as well. They were misconstrued, exactly. So what I will tell you is this.
Call yourself.
Yep. So I just wanted you to know that backdrop. That's my personal song. Don't give it to anybody else.
I will call you in a couple of days and I'll apologize to your wife.
Okay, well, we don't need to do any of this on air.
But I will call your wife and apologize.
And you know what we can do? Is we can turn the page and maybe have a chapter to demonstrate what actual good discourse looks like in this country. And that's not just on you, that's on me as well. Okay, that's on two of us.
I'm really sorry.
No, hey, it's classy of you to say so, and I hope we can build a friendship. I really mean that.
And I'll call.
Please do. Okay? Thank you. Take care.
I can't believe what I just watched. I mean, I can because I haven't met Van Jones. But from the interviews that I've seen him in, even up to the point where Glenn Beck was calling him out, there's something about him that I just found very earnest, very honest. And he's not, in my opinion, a truly dishonest journalist. He shoots from the hip, he believes what he says, and furthermore, he apologized to Vivek and even asked for the opportunity to call his wife and apologize to her over the phone. And that is exactly the kind of person Vivek is, and that is who Van Jones is. Deep down, these people care about what they're talking about, but they're earnest in their discussions, and they're honest when it comes to each other. This is the kind of political reactions that I want to see more of. Because we've had such a huge division, and it's been awful ever since about 2014. Hey y'all, I wanted to give a quick shout out to our new sponsors, Native Path. Created by Dr. Chad out of Austin, Texas, he realized that there was something deeply wrong in this medical community. And instead of focusing on nutrition, they were just focused on serving Big Pharma. So he left and created this new company called Native Path. And what do they do over there? They sell something called collagen. Now, what is collagen? Well, it's not magic fairy dust. It's not this muscle milk. It's not calcium rich. Instead, it is a odorless, flavorless, dissolves completely in water powder that you can mix. And unlike iocane powder, this stuff has massive health benefits. It can help your bones, your joints, your ligaments, your skin, your hair follicles, even your fingernails. This stuff is absolutely packed with the nutrients that we lose so constantly in our modern diet. This stuff is a fantastic supplement, can help you live a healthier life. And if you go to this link down here below, you will find up to 45% off of certain products. That is how much Native Path cares about your health. So go check them out, link in the description below. And now, back to regularly scheduled programming. I seem to remember there was a time back in the 2010s, early 2010s, mind you, that when a politician or media personality said something out of line, they would get canceled almost immediately. The South Carolina representative during Obama's State of the Union screamed out, "You lie!" And there was that iconic moment where Obama just pointed and went, "Mm." That guy got primaried and got voted out. Then there was a Florida representative, I believe Alan Grayson, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, a Democrat who went on to, I believe, MSNBC and said, "STFU Karl Rove." He got primaried and lost. Something in the ether changed after that date, because now the political rhetoric we have is horrific. It's probably due to the internet, and I hate admitting it because you're probably watching this because of the internet. It's probably the discourse on Twitter, and it's probably the discourse that we're having on places like Reddit and Tumblr. If you don't know what those are, don't go there, okay? That is not a good place for normal human beings to hang out. But the rhetoric that you now see in left-wing circles is horrific, to the point of where I can scroll those platforms and you will see certain communities that will have death threats. And they're directly talking about one there because Van Jones said something very dangerous about Vivek Ramaswamy. What he said was, "Vivek scares me because he's young, he might be in power for 50 years, and he's really, really good at rhetoric. And he's starting to gain some popularity." And so after making that statement, someone tried, a couple of threats were made against Vivek's life. And his security team got wind of it and made sure that nothing happened to him. I guess that, I don't think that was Secret Service at the time, because if that was the case, Vivek would not be here today. Let's be real here. And so because of that rhetoric coming from a mainstream source, it is possible that that man was inspired by Van Jones. Is it possible that it wasn't? Absolutely. I'm not going to say either way because I don't know. But Van Jones realized that he went too far. And Vivek isn't screaming at him. He's simply saying, "Dude, you said something out of line. I need an apology." And it was given. This is the political interaction that I want to see happen more and more and more. That's the normalcy that I long to return to. But as long as the rhetoric on the left is slowly building steam, there's a reason that the last handful of mass shootings, there's a reason for the Nashville ones. There's a reason that they bury the stories on other ones. It's because it either goes against Democrat narratives or because they got radicalized by left-leaning people. We live in a world where we have the internet. The internet's great. It has allowed us to advance. It has made the economy amazing, or at least used to. But there's a downside. We're starting to see everyone else's opinions, and the louder someone cries, the more response it gets. The very algorithm that gives you videos like these are there because they amplify something that you've previously enjoyed. And if that's the case, it also goes the same with rhetoric. That if you start to agree with something, or if someone's getting a lot of engagement because they said something controversial, all of a sudden the bar gets lowered just a little bit and just slowly drops over time. So all I'm saying is be careful about the rhetoric you choose to let into your mind. And if that rhetoric is leading you down a violent path, you need to get away. And the Democrat Party needs to do a better job of policing the rhetoric on their side and on their fringes. Because the Republican side is not this bad. As a matter of fact, it has gotten better. The Democrat rhetoric, however, particularly among young people, among young left-leaning white kids, it's getting worse. And I'm afraid it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. But I hope that interactions like this become more commonplace, because that is how you heal America. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one, and until then, y'all have a good one.